In 2004, President Christ gave a speech that was really ahead of its time. It was titled, "Inside the Clockwork of Women's Careers." To me, it's very much a third women's revolution call to arms. She spoke of the need to dispel myths about ambition and success, chief among them the myth that success and ambition look like a straight line. Now, I guess it's no big surprise that the image of success created by men would be, yes, a long, phallic-shaped straight line. But if we don't redefine success, the personal price we pay will get higher and higher. As the data shows, already the price is much higher for women than for men. Among career women who have stressful jobs, and which career woman doesn't, there is a nearly 40% increased risk of heart disease and a 60% increased risk of diabetes. And in the last 30 years, as women have made strides and gains in the workplace, self-reported levels of stress have gone up by 18%. Another Smith graduation speaker, Alistair Cook, notoriously told the class of 1954 that their way to the top would be determined by the men they marry. Well, I want to do old Alistair one better and tell you, you don't get to the top by marrying someone. A much simpler way is to sleep your way to the top. Right now, I imagine President Christ is thinking she probably should have added this speech. But no, I'm talking about sleep in the literal sense. Because right now, the workplace is absolutely fueled by sleep deprivation and burnout. I actually know of what I speak, because in 2007, sleep-deprived and exhausted, I fainted, hit my head on my desk, broke my cheekbone, and got 4 stitches on my right eye. And that was the beginning of my reacquainting myself with sleep and with the need to redefine success, to include our own sense of well-being. Because even if sleep deprivation is not affecting your health, it's affecting your creativity, your productivity, and your decision-making. Did you know that the Exxon Valdez wreck, the explosion of the Challenger space shuttle, and the nuclear accidents at Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island were at least all partially the result of decisions made on too little sleep? And according to researchers at Walter Reed Hospital, the only thing that gets better with sleep deprivation is magical thinking and reliance on superstition. So for those of you majoring in fortune-telling, go ahead and burn the midnight oil. The rest of you, not so much. As you can tell by now, I'm a major sleep evangelist. Indeed, at the Huffington Post, in our newsroom, we have 2 nap rooms. And at first, hundreds of editors and reporters and engineers were very reluctant to be seen in the middle of the afternoon having a nap. But now, the 2 nap rooms are continuously booked, and we need to open a 3rd. Although I must say, the other day I was walking by one of the nap rooms, and I saw 2 people coming out of the nap room. And I thought to myself, whatever it takes to recharge yourself. Just please don't tell HR, okay? What adding well-being to our definition of success means is that in addition to looking after our financial capital, we need to look after our human capital. My mother was an expert at that. I remember when I was 12 years old, a successful Greek businessman came to dinner at our home in Athens. And he told us how well everything was going in his life. My mother looked at him, looking burned out, exhausted, drained, and said to him, "I don't care how well your business is doing. You're not taking care of you. Your business might have a great bottom line, but you are your most important capital. There are only so many withdrawals you can make from your health bank account, but you just keep on withdrawing. You could go bankrupt if you don't make some deposits soon." And indeed, not long after that, the man had to be admitted for an angioplasty. When we include well-being in our definition of success, another thing that changes is our relationship with time. Right now, we are all so stressed out about time that every time we look at our watch, it's later than we think. Researchers have a term for it, time famine. And Dr. Seuss wrote about it, ahead of the researchers, of course. "How did it get so late so soon?" he wrote. "It's night before it's afternoon. December is here before it's June. My goodness, how the time has flown. How did it get so late so soon?" Does that feel familiar to anyone, or more likely to everyone? The problem is that as long as success is defined by just money and power, climbing, and burnout, we will never have the time to be able to enjoy that other aspect of the third metric, wonder. I was blessed with a mother who was living in a constant state of wonder, whether she was washing the dishes or feeding seagulls at the beach or reprimanding overworking businessmen. She maintained her sense of wonder, delighted at both the mysteries of the universe and the everyday little things that fill our lives. And whenever I'd complain or be upset about something, she would say to me, "Darling, change the channel. You're in control of the clicker. Don't replay that bad, scary movie." And one of the gifts that that attitude to life gave her was the ability to cut through hierarchies. I remember one night I was living in London and dating a Tory member of parliament. It must have been one of those decisions made on sleep deprivation. And he brought home to dinner the then Prime Minister Ted Heath. My mother was in the kitchen, where she was most of the time, and a plumber had to come in to fix some last-minute problem. So my mother asked the plumber what he thought of the Prime Minister. "Not much," the plumber said. "He hasn't been good for working people." "Oh," my mother said, "let me go bring him here so you can tell him directly." And she didn't think there was any problem at all about bringing the Prime Minister into the kitchen, and that's where he sat down and heard a mouthful from the plumber.